Hello all, welcome to the video on structured query language. In this video, I am going to explain DDL commands in SQL. For this, I will be using MySQL software. Let's look what is MySQL. MySQL is an open source RDBMS software based on structured query language. We have already looked what is RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. MySQL is a software which manipulates relational databases. MySQL uses structured query language. It can be easily downloaded from mysql.com. A single MySQL database can contain many tables and can store thousands of records in it. This MySQL database consists of multiple tables with 1000 records. It can store anything from a single record of information to an entire inventory of available products of an online store. It can store a single record or millions of records in it. After installing MySQL, when we open this MySQL, a prompt will be displayed to enter the password. I am entering my password. A welcome screen will be displayed, and this MySQL prompt denotes that MySQL is ready to accept our commands. Let's look what are the database commands in SQL. After opening MySQL, we have to create a database. The syntax for creating database is create database followed by the database name, and after that put a semicolon. Example is create database library. By this statement, we are creating a database with name library. Next command is deleting a database. If we want to delete a database, we can delete it by using the drop database command. Drop database name. For example, in order to delete the database library, we can use the command drop database library. After creating a database, in order to start working in it, we have to open the database. To open the database, we need to execute the use command, use followed by the database name. For example, to open the database library, give the command use library. And in order to view the list of databases available, we can use the command show databases. The show databases command will list all the databases available. Next, we can move on to DDL or data definition language. It is also known as data description language. It is a part of SQL which allows us to write statements for defining, modifying, and deleting relation schemas. The DDL commands are create table, alter table, and drop table. Create table is used to create a new table in an opened database. And alter table is used to change the structure of the table. And drop table is used to delete a table. Let us look one by one. The first one is create table command. As we already discussed, create table command is used to create a table in SQL. This is the syntax for create table command. Create table, table name. The table name is user defined. After that, bracket open. This bracket will be closed at the end of the command. And inside this, we have to give each column name, its data type, and an optional constraint. The column names must be unique. After defining the first column, put a comma and give the name of the second column, its data type, and optional constraint. Like that, we can define as many columns as we need, and we can optionally give the table constraints in the end. After creating a table, we can view the structure of a table by using the DSC command. For example, if I have created a table named student, in order to view the structure of that table, we can execute the command DESC student, or DESC employee can be used to view the structure of the employee table. Let's look one example. Here I have created a database named 12CS, create database 12CS. This query denote that the command has successfully executed. Then after that, I am opening this database by using the use command. Use 12CS opens this database. Then after that, I am creating a table named student. Create table student, bracket open. The first column is admission number and data type is int 3, and I am applying a constraint called primary key. After the first column, put a comma. Then second column is name of data type varchar 20. The constraint is not null. Then I have put a comma. Then third column is DOB, date of birth, DOB, and its data type is date, comma. address varchar 50, comma, email ID varchar 25. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns in this student table, and I have applied the constraints primary key and not null for these columns, admission number and name. The query has successfully executed. And after creating the table, in order to view the structure of the table, I can use the DSC command DSC student. Displays the structure of the table. All the column names, data type, and the constraints will be displayed. Since I have applied a primary key constraint to the admission number column, a PRI is displayed here, which denotes this column is having a primary key constraint. Primary key ensures not null also. So null is not allowed here, and name is given the not null constraint, and here no is displayed. That means we cannot allow null values in this name column. Let's look one more example. Here I have created a database name library. After creating the database, in order to start working in that database, I have given the command use library to open the database. After that, I am creating two tables. The first table is the book table and the second table is the member table. In the book table, there are 4 columns: book ID, book name, category, and issue date. For each columns, I have given the data type and the constraints. Book ID integer 2 primary key, book name varchar 20 unique, category varchar 20, issue date date. The table is created successfully. After that, a member table is created with custody, name, phone, and mail ID as the attributes, and the constraints given are primary key, unique, and null. So first created the database, opened the database, created the two tables. When I execute the show tables command, the tables in this library table will be displayed. Two tables are there, books and members. The names of that tables will be displayed. In order to view the structure of the table, I have executed the DSC command DSC books. The structure of the books table is displayed, and DSC member displays the structure of the member table. Here I have given a unique constraint to the book name, and name in the member table is also given a unique constraint. The phone number is having a non-null constraint. All the constraints will be displayed here. This is how we can create a table in MySQL. Create table is a DDL command which is used to create a table. The next DDL command is drop table. After creating a table, in order to delete the table permanently, we can use the drop table command by using the syntax drop table table name. For example, to delete an employee table, execute the command drop table employee. Dropping the table will completely delete the table from the database and all its information. All the data stored in the table will be removed from the database and it cannot be recovered. Next command is alter table command. Alter table command is used to modify the structure of the table. After creating the table, if we need to change the structure of the table, we use this alter table command. The syntax is alter table. After that, give the table name which is to be altered, and we can give 3 clauses: add, modify, or drop. And after that, the column name should be given. This is the general syntax for alter table command. By using alter table command, we can add or remove an attribute, modify the data type of an existing attribute. We can add or remove constraints in an attribute. Let us look this alter table command in detail. We have already seen the general syntax for alter table command. Now we can look what are these 3 clauses: add, modify, and drop. First, we can look what is the use of add clause. The add clause of alter command can be used to add an attribute to an existing table. That is, we can add a new column to the table, or add primary key to a relation, or add foreign key to a relation, or add a unique constraint to an existing attribute. These 4 alterations can be done by using this add clause. Next one is modify. Using this modify clause, we can modify the data type of an attribute, or modify the not null constraint of an attribute, or add a default value to an attribute. By using this modify clause, we can do these 3 modifications. Next one is drop. The drop clause can be used to remove an attribute. We can remove an existing attribute by using this drop clause, or remove a primary key from a table. There will be only one primary key in a table, and in order to remove that primary key, we can use this drop clause. So drop clause of alter table command can be used to remove an attribute or remove a primary key from the table. Now we can look the syntax of each of these commands. First, we can look the syntax for the add clause of alter table command. The first one is to add an attribute. The syntax is alter table name add followed by the new attribute name to be added. Then the data type, and optionally we can give constraints to that column. The next one is adding a primary key. Alter table name add followed by primary key and the attribute name. So the column name given in the bracket of this primary key will be assigned as the primary key of this table. This is how we can add a primary key to a table. The next one is foreign key. Alter table name add foreign key. We are adding foreign key. Add foreign key. Attribute name. This attribute name is the attribute present in this child table followed by the references keyword. After that, give the parent table name, referenced table name, and then in bracket give the attribute name. This attribute will be the primary key of the parent table. Alter table name add foreign key, attribute name, references, reference table name, and in bracket give the primary key field of the parent table. Then how to add a unique constraint. Alter table name add unique attribute name. All these alterations are performed by using the add clause of alter table command. In order to add the constraints primary key, foreign key and unique, use the keywords primary key, foreign key and unique followed by the add clause. And in bracket give the name of the column to which the constraint is to be applied. Next we can look how can we use this modify clause. The first one is modifying data type. Syntax is alter table name modify attribute data type. This attribute is name of the existing attribute and the new data type. That is, if you are changing from int to float, give the new data type float here. The next one is modifying not null constraint. By default, a column allows null values, but if we want to make that column as not null, we are going to modify that not null constraint. The syntax is alter table name modify followed by the attribute name, data type, and the constraint not null. So the specified attribute will be set as not null. Then next one is adding a default value, alter table name modify, attribute, data type, then default keyword followed by the value to be set as default. These are the three modifications that we can perform by using the alter table command. Note that while using the modify clause, we have to specify the data type in all the three cases. The next one is using the drop clause. The drop clause can be used to remove an attribute. Syntax is alter table name drop attribute. So that column will be deleted from the table. Next one is remove primary key. The syntax is alter table name drop primary key. Here no need of specifying the column name because there will be only one primary key in a table and that primary key will be removed from the table. I have created a library database and opened the library database using the use library command. Next I am going to create a table book. Create table book. Book ID int3, book name varchar20, category varchar20, issue date. I am not specifying any constraint. I am just creating the table. After creating the table, I want to add the primary key constraint. Alter table book add primary key and in bracket I want to give the column to be specified as primary key. I am making the book ID as primary key and give the semicolon. Book ID column will be set as primary key now. While describing table, we can see a primary key field here. Next, I am going to add a column named price. Alter table book. In order to add a column, we have to give the add clause. Column name I am going to add is price. I am just giving the data type as int5 and I am going to describe the table. We can see a new column price is added here with data type int. Now I need to change data type of this price column. Now I need to change the data type of this price column to float 8,2. So we have to use the alter table command, alter table book, modify The column name to be modified is price and give the new data type float and in bracket 8,2. Column will be changed. While describing, we can see the price column is changed to float 8,2. Next, we can add a unique constraint to the book name. Alter table book, add unique, and in bracket we have to give the column name, book name, and semicolon. Sorry, spelling mistake is here. Alter table book, add unique. I missed the N. Unique book name. Now I am describing this book table. We can see a unique constraint added here. I am going to add a not null constraint to this price column. The command is alter table book modify. While using the modify clause, we need to specify the column name followed by its data type float 8,2 and the constraint not null, not space null. Not null constraint is added to this column. We can see now is displayed here. Next, I am going to delete this category column from this table. Alter table book drop category. The column to be deleted is category. Describing the table, the category column is removed. In order to view the tables in this database, we can execute the command show tables. There is only one table in this database. I am going to remove that table by using the drop command, drop table book. That table is removed from this database. When I execute the show tables, it will show empty set. That means the table is removed from the database. This is how we execute DDL commands in MySQL. Hope you understood all these DDL commands. Practice all this. Thank you.